The only thing constant in soaps is change. Over the years, we have seen many actors come and go in Y&R, but there were a handful who always remained loyal to the show and devoted their decades of life to this show. Here's a list of such actors from Y&R who have never been recast. But before we dive into the list, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Victor Newman. Portrayed by none other than Eric Braeden since 1980, Victor is the formidable patriarch of the Newman family and a central figure in Genoa City. Though he initially came in as a guest character and was supposed only to last for 8 to 12 weeks, Destiny had other plans and soon the actor was signed on contract. His character was a despicable, contemptible, unfaithful wife abuser. And Belle thought it would be killed off soon, but the character gained quite some traction and later became a part of many controversial plots for 40 years. Michael Baldwin. Next, we have Christian LeBlanc, who has been playing the complex character of hotshot Michael Baldwin since 1991. Though the actor left the show in 1993, he returned in 1997 and has been a staple in the show since then. Michael was cast as one of the popular lawyers in Genoa City, often described as the quirky legal eye. Even his pairing with Lauren Fenmore was quite popular and has been one of the longest enduring couples in the industry. While we have seen them endure a lot of hurdles, it seems like they always find their way back to each other. When asked LeBlanc in an interview about what he liked best about his character, he said that he wasn't written as a single-dimension character. Christine Blair. This fictional character was played by Lauralee Bell, the daughter of series creators William J. Bell and Lee Phillip Bell. Though she was introduced as a teen model in 1983, later she developed into a lawyer and district attorney. In 2001, she moved to recurring status after maternity leave and then again returned to regular status the following year, 2005 and 2007. Then, from 2010, she continued to make recurring appearances in the show. Nikki Newman. Portrayed on screen by Joshua Morrow, he has been the son of Victor and Nikki Newman since 1994 in Y&R and has been in the same role since then. Talking about his character, Joshua says Nicholas is a good dude with a fiery personality. He has been a part of major storylines since then, but the blow came in 2005 when the character's 14-year-old daughter was killed off after a car accident. And his pairing plot with Sharon and later getting involved with Phyllis and again trying to rekindle with Sharon has always made him a part of huge controversy in the media. Nikki Newman. Introduced in Y&R in the year 1978, Melody Thomas Scott has played the role of Nikki Newman since 1979, transforming from a troubled young woman into the elegant matriarch of the Newman family. However, Erica Hope was initially cast as Nikki for a year before Melody came in and replaced her. Though the character was only a stripper, we hardly knew that she had such a huge role to play. In fact, what began as an illicit affair with Victor soon became an acclaimed recognition, and later they also had 2 children together, Victoria and Nicholas. Jack Abbott. This iconic character has been a part of The Young and the Restless since 1980. Back then, Terry Lester was the initial choice for the role, and he held the fold since 1989. Peter Bergman replaced him in the same year and has been there ever since. Though his charm and determination as the lead of the Abbott family have won our hearts, his role is most popular for the long-standing feud with Victor Newman. Unfortunately, Peter had to face a lot of criticism in the beginning when he first stepped in because he had bigger shoes to fill, but eventually it all worked out and now his character tops the list of best YR actors. Paul Williams. Next up, the character we have is Paul Williams, Genoa City's dedicated private investigator and police chief, whose role was played by Doug Davidson from 1978 till 2020. It was Bell who discovered him during his trip to Chicago when Davidson was just a magazine model. It was when a customer called him for his measurements he came to know that he would be playing the role of Paul Williams. Initially, he was on a 5-year contract with the show and played the same character till 2020. Jill Abbott. Jill Abbott, who was introduced as an 18-year-old manicurist in the show back in 1973, was initially played by Brenda Dixon. Once she left the role in 1980, Deborah Adder came in to replace her. However, Dixon again returned in 1983 and said she would never leave the role again, but unfortunately she left and was finally replaced by Jess Walton in 1987 once and for all. Jill's character has been a part of major storylines, and in each one of them, she has never failed to captivate the audience. Phyllis Summers. This fictional character was first introduced in the year 1994, and the first choice for the role was Michelle Stafford. However, the actor took a short hiatus in 1997 with Sandra Nelson replacing her. Nelson continued the role for 2 years until Stafford returned and took over her role in 2000. In 2013, when Stafford's role slipped into a coma, Gina Tannoni replaced her, but Stafford again returned in 2019 to reclaim her role, and there has been no sudden exit since. The plan was to keep Stafford's role as a short stint, but her performance impressed the producers and the fans so much that she was placed on contract. Sharon Newman. The popular love interest of Nicholas Newman, Sharon first debuted in the year 1994. Before her, Monica Potter and Heidi Mark also contributed to the role. Though she was a part of many negative as well as positive plots, she has always been a central character in the show, from getting married to Nick to facing their daughter's death together and then dealing with Nick's deception with Phyllis. Since the beginning of her character, she has acclaimed quite some fame as a teen heroine and hottest mess. Lauren Fenmore. Lauren Fenmore, played by Tracy E. Bregman, has been playing the role since 1983 and has given us quite an on-screen journey to look at. From a young girl to a savvy businesswoman, we literally saw her grow up. When she began shooting for the role, it was planned for a short 6-month stint, but eventually she was offered a contract. Since then, there have been many behind-the-scenes changes in her contract, from recurring status to regular and more. Devon Hamilton. Devon Hamilton, who was first introduced as a homeless teenager in 2004 in The Young and the Restless, was played by Braeden James. Devon's character was very different from the other male characters of the show and made quite an impact socially on the audience. Quite surprisingly, his love life has never been much of a focus in the show, and we could often see the character getting involved in controversial storylines. Mariah Copeland. Introduced by the executive producer Jill Farron Phelps, Cameron Grimes appeared in the role of Mariah Copeland in 2014. Previously, we saw her appear in the role of Cassie Newman from 1997 to 2005 and was later killed off in a car accident. However, her character as Mariah wasn't easygoing and brought layers to her character along with the much-needed complexity. When Mariah re-entered the show with the face of Cassie, her storyline and especially the layers of her character were greatly praised by the fans. Esther Valentine. Kate Linder, who has portrayed Esther since 1982, is highly popular for her role as the loyal housekeeper and confidante in the Chancellor household. It was the storyline of the long-serving maid that garnered a lot of attention from the audience. You'll be surprised to know that Linder was brought in to play a one-line role, but as fate would have it, she is still rocking her role. Tracy Abbott. Created and introduced by Belle, Beth Maitland was the first one to play the role since 1982 and is still doing a great job at it. In the show, Tracy is the daughter of John Abbott and Dina Murgeron. Throughout the duration, she entered and exited the role quite a few times, once in 1996, in 1999, and again in 2002. She has been there ever since. These actors have graced their roles for decades and they are still at it. We couldn't be more thankful to them for giving us the characters we grew up with. If you love seeing more such videos, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also check our channel for all the spoilers of your favorite soap operas. See you next time.